in 7-6 days. Watch the move. Watch the move, man.
I did not move. You hit the end of the wall.
Hey, reach up there and pull those belts tight. One more time, you're watching the original Rebels Racing League.
Welcome everybody to sunny Talladega. My name's Josh Hall. This is Intensity Broadcasting's live coverage of the original Rebels Racing League Xtreme Xfinity Series fueled by Goat Locker Racing. We're getting ready for 60 heart-pounding laps here at Talladega Super Speedway. Speeds around 200 miles an hour. It's going to be a fantastic race tonight, and I cannot wait to see how this one ends. Got some exciting stuff going on tonight. Let's first take a look at the playoff picture. And after Kurt's got the win last week at Charlotte, he is locked into the championship 4 at Chicagoland. Now we just got to figure out what other 3 are going to make it into the finals, or if someone's going to play spoiler here tonight. Speaking of spoilers, we've got a little side bet going on here tonight in the original Rebels. See the tail of the tape here between Logan Sturgeon and Jason Lottridge. And you can see Logan has 8 league wins over Jason's 2, and that crosses all series that the original Rebels Racing League runs. You can see Jason Lottridge is the one that drinks the green smoothies, unlike Logan Sturgeon. And Jason Lottridge can also drive a 5-speed, unlike Logan Sturgeon. But Logan Sturgeon was turned by a 12-year-old. Jason Lottridge was not. And Logan is 20-5 against Warren as far as outbeating each other in all forms of racing here in the Rebels Racing League. Named after a fish, well, that's Logan Sturgeon for sure. And never turns down a fatty, well, you can see where the check mark is on that. So the first one who wins 10 races, who beats the other one in 10 races that they race against each other, will win $100. Now, on top of that, there's actually some side bets going on as well, because what wouldn't be a little friendly action without some side bets? So you can see who's on Team Sturgeon: Charles Stevens, Garrett Kinder, Eddie Smith, Jonah Colbert, Kyle Roberts, Josh Lokenvitz, Charlie Elmore, Tyler Barnett. And who's on Team Lottridge with Daniel Cunningham, Zach Wetstein, Magic Mike, Phil the Hitman Manzo, Adam Lang, Jonathan Cofield, and Matt Telder. So it's going to be fun, the next 10 races that these two compete against each other in. Have a little fun, and like I said, you got a little side bet action going on there as well. Practice is over here at Talladega Super Speedway, and practice really doesn't mean much here, as you got the 2.6 mile super speedway. It's all about where you finish. You can start deep in the field and still make your way up to the front. We see one of the first drivers rolling out on the track. That is the 25 of Colton Lanford. Oh. See Jonah Colbert rolling out as well, but there's Lanford. While Lanford gets up to speed, let's take a look at the race info here tonight. As I mentioned, Talladega 2.66 miles. Track temperature is 101. Air temperature is 78, so it's going to be a little bit of a slicker track here tonight. Again, 2.66 miles. Turns 1 and 2 are 33 degrees. Turns 3 and 4 are 32 degrees. Tri-oval's banked at 16 degrees. Backstretch actually has a little bit of banking too at 3 degrees. And again, these cars will be flying around this place. In the draft, speeds in excess close to 200 miles an hour. See Lanford running that low line here on his first of 2 laps. Actually, this is his money lap. I take that back. So this is the lap that's going to count. Again, I take that back. This is the first lap. Talladega, because of the start-finish line, it kind of plays with my scoring loop a little bit. But we'll get to that start-finish line in just a moment, as it makes the racing here incredibly special. As you can see, no start-finish line in the center of the tri-oval. It's right there, 100 feet or 100 yards past the tri-oval. When Bill France opened this track up, he wanted to make things a little more exciting, so he put the start-finish line past the tri-oval so that try to sell some more seats down that front stretch, and it worked. There's always an exciting finish here at Talladega Superspeedway. It's not always about who has the fastest car. It's more about who's willing to help you get to the front. One car running by itself. You see this car right here. He's got a top speed of about 175. Once they get in a draft, and we see all 20, I think there's 26 cars here qualifying tonight. Once we see all 26 cars nose to tail, these speeds will increase to almost 200 miles an hour. As here comes Lanford down through the tri-oval and across the stripe. And that's going to be good enough currently for 4th position. Eddie Smith currently on the provisional pole. See Matt Knight's just coming across the line here to start across for his first of 2 laps. See what Matt can do here on his second lap. Again, right there on that yellow line, you want to take the shortest way around the track. On your opening lap, a lot of these guys, you'll see them right up against the wall trying to get these cars wound up the best they can. These cars have what's called a restrictor plate, and what that is it's a plate that goes over the carburetor, or in this case the throttle body, and it restricts the amount of air that can mix with the fuel. It cuts the horsepower. So these cars having 700 or 800 horsepower, it drops them all the way down to 450. So not the throttle response that you would have out of your normal stock car. So that restrictor plate is going to come into play here tonight. Let's see who else is out there. See the 41 of Ray Page out on track. As qualifying has come to an end. And we're going to take a look at our starting grid. Brought to you by Magic Mike Motorsports. And our peg leg pull award tonight goes to the 35 of Kyle Roberts, with Eddie Smith going to be rolling off P number 2. Jonah Kober at the 31, he'll be rolling off third, with Garrett Kinder, fan favorite, in the 4th position. Brandon Wallace will be rounding out the top 5. Travis Bieber, he'll be rolling off in the 6th spot, with Jason Lottridge in 7th. Colton Lanford, Daniel Cunningham, and Mike Pertosa Jr. round out your top 10. Row 6, you'll find the 6 of Tyler Rice, and in 12th, Andy Kurtz in the 5. Matt Knights will be rolling off 13th, with Mickey Isaac in the 14th position. Then Logan Sturgeon, starting behind Jason Lottridge here, kind of has himself in a hole. Rolling off P15, and Chuck Pegleg Feltz returning into the 16th position. We haven't seen Chuck race in a while. It's good to see him back. Josh Oswald will be rolling off from the 17th spot, with Charlie Stevens Jr. in the 18th position. Josh Lokovitz and Ray Page will make up row number 10. And Mike Iribe, Magic Mike, in the 77, rolling off P21. So here we go. The field is rolling here. Kevin Kinder says, checking in. Oh boy, restrictor plate racing. Yeah, you see a lot of that this week. We had the SCSRA, both the Tuesday night truck series and the Wednesday night Xfinity series, ran Daytona in their opening race. And now we've got the Rebel Series running here at Talladega. Don't worry, this weekend in the Rebels Truck Series races, the Outlaws in the Rebels trucks, they'll be running New Hampshire, so no super speedway racing there this week, as it's just going to be the Xfinity Series taking on this tricky Talladega Super Speedway. And I say tricky because it doesn't matter how fast you are. It's all about who you know, who's willing to work with you and get yourself up to the front. See Jonah Colbert running a little different paint job tonight. There's a couple drivers in this field who are really, really good at super speedway racing. Look out for both Jason Lottridge, Logan Sturgeon. Brandon Wallace is a fantastic super speedway racer. So don't be surprised to see their names up towards the front here. As we get ready to go green flag racing, pace car is in. Kyle Roberts is going to lead them down to the starting zone. Long wait down to the starting zone. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Talladega Super Speedway. And a great start for both front row drivers as they are side by side into turn 1. These cars get wound up here. It will take these drivers about a lap and a half to get up to full speed. And that's just a product of that restrictor plate. As they snake down the backstretch, Eddie Smith has a little bit of a lead over Kyle Roberts. Now Garrett Kinder is going to push Eddie Smith right up to the front. They make their way down into turns 3 and 4, and these drivers are, in fact, pushing on each other. They're going to give each other a shove all night long. As that back driver, the only thing that you hope for is you can keep an eye on your water temperature so you don't overheat and expire that motor. The other big rule that you got to remember is you can't push the pusher. If you've got a driver pushing on the car in front, that third place car cannot get up there and help. It'll just send them both around. You see these drivers really moving around, snaking down the backstretch. That's a product of the air. As these drivers get down up to speed as they are, the air really starts to move these cars around. It doesn't look so much when you're sitting here watching it from the perspective here. As we see one car trying to tuck out of line. That's the 25 of Colton Lanford. He's trying to get out of line, trying to make it 3 wide, but he's going to tuck back in. We ride along here with Mike Bertosa Jr. You can see just how much these cars actually move around on these drivers. And even though they're holding the wheel pretty straight, that car just wants to wander around. Here, Bertosa having to lift a little bit to keep from running into the back of the car in front of him. They make their way off of turn number 4, and Kyle Roberts has Jonah Cobert now giving the big push, taking that energy away from the top line and getting moving on the bottom. But as I say that, here comes Garrett Kinder transferring that energy up to the high side. And when I say energy, that's the lane that's moving. As you can see, Garrett Kinder and the 114 of Travis Bieber. Bieber's helping out right here. When you can get a couple cars in line, you don't have to push the car in front of you. But if you can get right up on that back bumper and give a good shove, that air will actually push those cars forward. And it's all about which line can get lined up the best. They make their way down the backstretch. And right now that high lane has the most cars that are in line working together. See that gap between Jason Lottridge and Brandon Wallace back here? That's actually hurting that bottom line. When they can get tucked up closer together on that higher line, you can see that high line starting to move forward. And just that one little gap between two drivers really slows down that bottom lane. Eddie Smith, though, not clearing himself down in front of Kyle Roberts. He's content running up on that high lane with Garrett Kinder. It looks like pretty much the whole pack is still together. Minus one car, we see Magic Mike. No, Magic Mike is still hanging on to the back of the pack. It looked like he was off pace on my screen. So far, so clean as we complete lap number 5 here at Talladega. Some little moves being made in the back of the pack. Mickey Isaac in the 01. Already up 5 positions up into the 9th position. He continues to move forward. Another driver starting to move through the field is the 75 of Pegleg Phelps. Currently up 5 positions into the 11th position and trying to get himself up in a position to win here at Talladega. The other challenging thing for this track tonight, as we're seeing them run pretty clean, is going to be green flag pit stops if we have those. Having to slow down from 200 miles an hour down to 55 is quite the challenge. As we look off the back bumper of Eddie Smith, you see Garrett Kinder giving him the business. And you can see that speed in the corner. 182 miles an hour through the corners here. Through the tri-oval, almost 190 miles an hour. Eddie doing a little side draft in there on Kyle Roberts. And what a side draft is, you get right alongside, real close to that car next to you. If you are, oh, sorry about that. I don't know what that was. If you can get right alongside and put your wheel basically where that spoiler is, you can actually dump all the air onto that spoiler of the car next to you and slow that line down. And that's exactly what Eddie Smith was just doing. So Eddie Smith kind of staying content up on that high side. Hasn't pushed down in front of Kyle Roberts just yet. As Roberts coming back on that low side, and see a couple drivers hitting that apron down on that yellow line. That's not something that you want to do. That can be really, really dangerous and get that car out of shape right in front of the field. And another thing that we talk about here when it comes to super speedways is the big one. And it's not if we're going to have a big one, it's when we have a big one. And when one car goes around in the front of the pack, it can collect at times the entire field. So we saw that in the Talladega ARCA race with the Rebels a few weeks back. Jason Lottridge won that one, and I will self-admit that I kind of gave a bad bump at the wrong time and pretty much wiped out the entire field. But that's what happens sometimes in these restrictor plate races. You're trying to do everything you can to get the win. Just like you can see Eddie Smith doing everything he can to stay out in front as Garrett Kinder's giving him the big shove through the corner here. And still the field pretty much side by side. Everybody's kind of taking it easy, kind of feeling each other out, seeing what the racing's going to be, and not making any crazy moves just yet. What's really going to separate things tonight will be the green flag pit stops. Who can get on and off pit road the best? We'll take a great view here from our little drone cam. Just how close these drivers are running. The entire field makes their way off of turn number 4. We'll be completing lap number 12, and I imagine pit road for these drivers will probably be coming down lap between 26 and 30. Obviously, your leaders, Eddie Smith and Kyle Roberts, won't be able to run quite as many laps as the drivers behind due to the fact that they're just pushing more air. Trying to get that air out of the way for everybody behind him. And drivers sitting back there a little further back like Jason Lottridge, Peg Leg Felt, Andy Kurtz. They're just kind of chilling back there. They could be running back there half throttle. In fact, let's take a ride along here with Kurtz so we can hear just how much he's in and off the throttle there. Definitely not being able to keep a flat foot around the track. Then we go to Kyle Roberts. Who's got a flat foot all the way around the track because he's got Eddie Smith inches off the door. Garrett Kinder trying to push Eddie back by again. Now that bottom lane's going to have the energy through the corner. Eddie Smith is able to, they're trying to get back to the quarter there to throw a little air on that spoiler and start moving that top line back forward. That's kind of what that side draft is going to do. Couple drivers in the back trying to see if they can make some moves here. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody tries to make it 3 wide as we get close to pit stops. As we get close to the pit stops, I should say. It's actually a little surprising to me that nobody's really tried to make a move towards the front. And then nobody's tried to gang up on that third lane to try to move forward as well. And as I say that, we see one car back here, 25 of Colton Lanford, moving up into the third lane, trying to explore out there, see if he can move himself forward, see if anybody wants to go along with him. Mickey Isaac looks like he's going to peek his way up there as well. No, Colton's just going to stay up there on his own. He's trying to entice somebody to join him up there, see if they can move themselves forward. He's doing a good job staying up there by himself. Normally, one car can't work by himself up there, but if he can use a little bit of that side draft off that 43, he might be able to move himself forward just a little bit by himself. And being able to hang out there 3 wide like that, that's starting to show some people, hey, I've got some speed. If you want to go with me, we can get to the front. That's exactly what he's trying to show right now, is he's now to the quarter of the 114. It's slowly but surely actually gaining a few positions out there. Now the 43 is going to tuck in behind. I think the 43 is going to stay up there 3 wide. No, he tucks back in line. Although Lanford now almost to the quarter panel of the 13 of Garrett Kinder. So Lanford doing some work by himself up there on that third lane. If he could get 1 or 2 cars to go with him up there, looks like he'd have some speed to get them to the front. You also see how that broke up that top line. So they're not as organized as they once were. And that's going to slow down that line as well. Now he's going to tuck in behind Travis Bieber. He's going to make another run at it here on the high side. Rome Valdez says, Lanford Nation, let's go, brother. Lanford's trying to do everything he can up on that high side by himself. Again, if I was sitting back there, if I was the 43 of Bertosa, or if I was Mickey Isaac, or even Chuck Peg Lake Phelps where he's sitting right now, I'd want to jump up in that line and try to help Lanford, seeing how fast he is. Unfortunately, nobody's brave enough to make their way up into that third lane just yet. Lanford's going to try to tuck back down in line behind the 43 of Bertosa. He's going to make another run at it as we start lap number 20 of 60. We are a third of the way through the race. And I feel like we are moments away from some green flag pit stops. Typically, when we start to get ready for green flag pit stops, you'll see these drivers doing everything they can to get themselves single file. Right now, though, they're content running 2x2 all the way around the track. He's got Lanford's going to tuck back in line. And now he jumps back out to make another move at it. Makes a liar out of me yet again. Kevin Kinner says he's got an extra squirrel. Yeah, he's got an extra squirrel out there turning those, running in the wheel there, trying to get that 35 towards the front. And look at that. He's side by side with the second row. So that 25 machine showing some speed here tonight. Wishing that somebody would jump up there with him. And I don't think it would take too much more than one or two cars to get up there and get to the front. Oh, gets really loose there. Almost gets into Travis Bieber. Gets really loose, tucks back in line. The entire field. You throw a blanket over. Earl Valdez says again, keep focused, Lanford, you got it. And Lanford's doing a great job up there, moving himself forward and trying to get himself up towards the front. We saw him get really loose. We know the track temperature is really high. We saw in the pre-race the track temperature was 101 degrees. We see these drivers weaving back and forth in the corners, trying to keep those cars underneath them. We're seeing cars in the back starting to spread out. Spread out like that, that usually means they're starting to get single file. See Peg Lake Phelps jump down to the low side. As the cars start to file down to the low side, that means we are just moments away for some green flag pit stops. As now Lanford up on the high side by himself. Finds himself going in the wrong direction. So he is going to tuck in behind the 43 of Mike Bertosa. We'll see if he'll be able to get hooked up with somebody after these green flag pit stops. Again, I project pit stops coming up in the next 2 or 3 laps. That could really shake up the field too if somebody has a bad pit stop. Speeds on pit road. Again, you want to pit as a group. You don't want to pit by yourself. Because as we saw, one car running by himself is going to be running about 20 miles an hour slower than the field. Ideally, you want to be somewhere around 3 to 5 cars. But you'll probably see these drivers pitting in groups at a time. Julie Hammond says, "Let's go, Colton," in the YouTube chat. And I don't think they're going to be able to make it to halfway on fuel. They might be able to make it halfway. We'll have to see. Feel like if the drivers can make it to halfway and they hit that 30 mark, then we'll see everybody start coming down the pit road. Although some might try to stay out, stretch it a little further in case we have some green-white checkers. But it's going to be all about what driver hits pit road first. We see Eddie Smith and Garrett Kinder have worked their way down to the bottom, getting around Kyle Roberts. Now we know Kyle Roberts is a teammate of Garrett Kinder. So you've got JC Motorsports 1 and 4, Reaper Racing 2 and 3, and 5 on the bottom line. Travis Beer's got Bertosa Jr. on the high side, trying to move him forward. Now Lanford's, nope, that is, yeah, Lanford up there. See somebody making a move 3 wide. It is not Lanford. It is the 26 of Logan Sturgeon and the 79 of Josh Lokovitz. Josh Lokovitz is the self-proclaimed Super Speedway King. He's, well, actually not self-proclaimed. He did win the Super Speedway King Series. And Josh Oswald, Chuck Pegleg Felt's up there as well. So now we've got some 3 wide action up at the front. Lanford at the tail end of that as well. So we're starting to see some 3 wide. Drivers finally starting to feel comfortable with their cars and starting to see what these things can do up on the high side. We see Ray Page in that center lane as well, right behind Mickey Isaac. And oh, Logan Sturgeon really, really loose there. Might have made a little bit of contact. That's going to break up that third line as here comes our first takers down on the pit road. And oh, one driver, oh, gets turned coming on the pit road. And that looks like Colton Lanford turned around coming into pit road. Take a look to see what happened. Pitting more from the back here, and yeah, just overcooks it. Hits Jason Lottridge. Jonah Colbert gets into it as well, and that is going to be tough luck for that 25 machine, as he probably has a penalty for unsafe pit entrance as Kyle Roberts leads the field, this group off of pit road. As Travis Bieber and the group behind make their way down onto pit road. Brandon Wallace really driving in deep. Couple drivers locking up, trying to get down to that pit road speed. That's going to put this group, Josh Lokenvitz, Logan Sturgeon, Mike Pertosa Jr., Chuck Pegleg Phelps, Charles Stevens Jr., and Tyler Rice, out there as well. And what we'll do is we'll put on the track map so you can see where everybody is right now as the lead. This group right here is making their way towards turn number 3. See Kyle Roberts just coming through the tri-oval as Josh Oswald, Mickey Isaac, Andy Kurt, and Travis Bieber just making their way off of pit road. Looks like this group is going to do another lap. But you see they're side by side, and they're actually running slower being side by side than if they were to run in single file line as they go by the 41 of Ray Page. Ray Page is going to be in a bit of trouble unless he can get someone to hook up with him, as he's going to be running all by himself. You see the field of drivers out in front. Everybody's starting to get single file here, and I imagine they'll be pulling on to pit road this time by as Chuck Pegleg Phelps leads them off of turn number 4. They stay out another lap. And these drivers were in the back of the field earlier, so they've been able to save a little bit of fuel as they're coming up on the 64 of Matt Knights. You see this second group really broken up as opposed to this group that can't get formed up either. And if these drivers could just get in line, they'd be in really, really good shape. But by running side by side like this, it's just slowing them down. See Pegleg make his way into turn number 3. See if they get themselves on the pit road this time. And no, they continue to stay out yet another lap. So these drivers all in line like this are actually gaining on the group in front of them. Just due to the fact that the second group just cannot get lined up single file by running side by side like this. They're running quite a bit slower. See Josh Oswald, Mickey Isaac running by themselves here. And they've got your leaders coming up on them pretty quickly. Speed difference right now. Pegleg Phelps is currently running about 187 miles an hour down the straightaway. Where in front, Josh Oswald and Mickey Isaac are topping out about 184. As leaders get closer and closer. Yet they stay out yet another lap. This group back here, even though they're running side by side, they're formed up side by side. They're actually running quicker than the leaders right now. Last time by, Kyle Roberts and Brandon Wallace both ran 51.2s, and your leader just ran a 52.1. So even though they're not in line like they should be, because of how tight that they're running on each other and they're pushing each other and running properly, they are actually pulling away from this group behind. As we come across the line, we'll have 25 laps to go, make that 24 laps to go here at Talladega. How much longer is this group going to stay out? That's the question. Looks like they're going to stay out yet another lap. Again, makes me question this strategy as you see them coming up on Josh Oswald and Mickey Isaac. One thing I don't question is our web store. Check it out at intensitybroadcasting.com. You can find hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, anything you need, not just from Intensity Broadcasting, but also some of your favorite leagues, such as the Original Rebels Racing League, SCSRA, Extreme Forces, Thunderstruck, and Mayhem Modified. So check that out, intensitybroadcasting.com. Also, don't forget to check out theoriginalrebels.com, that ORRLeague.com, where you can find all stats, news, happenings in the Original Rebels Racing League. I left the link for the description. I left the link down in the description below for both IntensityBroadcasting.com and the Original Rebels Racing League website. Kevin Kinder says that front pack is hoping for a caution, and some contact between Bertosa Jr. and Jason Lottridge. Tyler Rice is about to get put 3 wide, and that was not what Bertosa wanted, what Lottridge wanted right there, because he's got some damage now to the right front on that machine. Yeah, this front group, all they can do is hope for a caution. Although a caution really wouldn't help them, because if they got onto pit road, they'd have to start behind everybody who's already pit, as everybody else has enough fuel to make it to the end. They're not going to come in and get tires or anything like that, because these super speedways really aren't tire dependent like you would see at a short track or intermediate track. Now this group comes down onto pit road. Pegleg very, very gingerly gets down in the pit road. As we see Eddie Smith coming around turns 3 and 4. Him and Kyle Roberts are side by side. We're using this camera because we want to see where everybody is on pit road, and they're just coming off of pit road. Here goes Eddie Smith, right on by. And now this group that was a little further back is going to have some work to do. See the field going by Ray Page. So this part of the field going down into turns 3 and 4. And you can see the second group now not even formed up yet. Which means that every second that these drivers aren't hooked up, they're just getting pulled away from by this first group. So as of right now, as we come just past 20 laps to go, we got 19 laps to go. Your winner, unless this front group wrecks out, is going to come from this front pack. See Colton Lanford in this pack. Unfortunately, him and Ray Page behind him are both laps down. So Lanford and Ray Page are both racing each other for the lucky dog if the yellow was to come out, which is exactly what that 25 and 41 are hoping for. No, I forgot to mention Kyle Roberts. Kyle Roberts is quite the super speedway racer as well. Really good at putting himself in a position towards the end of the race, and it's exactly what you're seeing right now as he is holding tight on that bottom lane. He's got his teammate, Brandon Wallace, right behind him. How about Andy Kurtz? Up into the 5th position. Kurtz currently up 8 spots from where he started. Currently running in the 4th position, flip-flopping between 4th and 5th. As that's what happens here on super speedways. It's really easy to lose or gain 4 or 5 spots. All depends on where that momentum and that energy comes from. Garrett Kinder up on the high side. He's got some friends behind him. He's got the 54 Daniel Cunningham and the 41 of Ray Page, who is a lap down behind him. I know that Cunningham is a teammate of Eddie and Jonah, who are both lined up on that high side, so makes me wonder if they would help Kinder or if Kinder is just out of friends at the moment. See the second group now finally lined up. Unfortunately, they are not running as fast as their leaders. Last time by, your leader ran a 51.2. And up front here, Charles Stevens Jr. ran a 51.6. So they're not going to be catching up to the lead pack anytime soon. Matt Kleeman says they're all friends right now. With 1 to go, all bets are off. Kevin Kinder fully agrees. Speaking of bets, Kleeman, I didn't see your name on the side bet pool for the Logan versus Lottridge grudge match that's going on between them. It's Colton Lanford again, all by himself on the high side, trying to get himself unlapped the hard way. And if he was to be able to get out in front of these drivers, he would be the very, very tail end of the lead lap. And that's what it looks like he's trying to do right now, is get himself up there. But he doesn't want to put himself in a position where Ray Page gets by him in case the yellow was to come out. Matt Kleeman's not in the side bets. His $5 went to admission for the show. I like it. Ooh, Lanford was almost just up in the wall. Almost made some contact with Ray Page as well. So that lucky dog position is quite the scrap right now. Ooh, almost some contact there with the 54 of Daniel Cunningham. Oh, we got a car in the wall. Sally Cofield just smacked the wall pretty hard. Not Cofield, excuse me. Lanford just smacked the wall pretty hard. Let's take a look at these cars here. Yeah, you can see the scrapes on the right front of that car. That car has been up into the wall. Looks like Ray Page might have a little bit of damage to his car as well. Yeah, you see the damage on the right front and right there off the right rear. So see right above the exhaust pipes there, the scrapes. So the 41 has been up into the wall as well. But no caution. As the field is coming up on the slower car of Mike Bertosa Jr. running all by himself. And when we cross the line this time, we'll have just 10 laps to go. And Eddie Smith and Jonah Colbert working really good up on that high side, trying to get around Kyle Roberts. You can see those three cars on the top a little more formed up, a little more organized in that bottom lane, as the lap car of Bertosa is going to stay up in that high lane, which is really about the fifth lane here at Talladega. You can see the tri-oval is about 5 lanes wide, then it funnels down to about 4 lanes as you come down into turn number 1. And yes, here at Talladega, it's easy to run. Very easy to run 2 wide. It's easy to run 3 wide. 4 wide can be done. 5 wide, you're just asking for a mess. Through the tri-oval, you can easily run 5 wide. But again, it funnels down to 4 wide as you come off of the tri-oval and to that start-finish line, which again is uniquely located at the end of the tri-oval. Charlie Gates says about to get crazy. I imagine it is. So we have just 9 laps to go. Talladega always brings out some crazy finishes, especially because of that location of the start-finish line. I know it seems like every race here at Talladega, the start-finish line location gets beat like a dead horse, but it's true. Just that location alone really changes the complexity of that last lap. Everybody is usually racing for the tri-oval because that start-finish line, that's where it's usually located, the center tri-oval. But here, having it about 100 yards past the tri-oval really makes for some interesting finishes. Drivers able to get a little more momentum off of turn number 4 and through the tri-oval. They try to get a win, and that start-finish line location will do just that. And that second group, the one that stayed out longer, led by Pegleg Phelps, actually currently being led by Charles Stevens Jr., is actually running almost a second slower than your lead group here, who's running side by side. So they are definitely back there praying for a caution to come out. Again, usually it's not about if the big one comes, when the big one comes. And with this front group being 8 lead lap cars and 3 lap down cars, big one is still very possible here, as we have just under 7 laps to go. Who's going to try to make the big move here to try to steal the win here? Right now, everybody is really content just running in line. They know the big picture. I always consider super speedway racing to be like playing chess, because you got to look 2, 3, 4 moves ahead of what you're trying to do. Oh, there goes Colton Lanford around, making contact with the 43. He is down in the grass, but able to get the car fired and rolling. No caution is going to come out. That spread the lap cars out of this mix. Down through turns 3 and 4, Kyle Roberts getting a good shove from the 99 of Brandon Wallace. Here comes Andy Kurtz trying to get back in line as well. Falling off the pack just a bit. Looks like he's going to hop into that high lane and see if he can make that high lane move forward. Now all those cars up on that high side are going to have the energy. They're going to be able to blow right on by the 35 of Kyle Roberts and Brandon Wallace once they get a little more organized up on that high side. Daniel Cunningham now diving down to the bottom. Kinder trying to take it 3 wide. He's got Travis Bieber behind him. Kinder trying to make an early move, trying to get the win here. So when we come to the stripe, we'll have just 4 laps to go. Bieber's going to tuck back down in line behind Jonah Colbert. Now Daniel Cunningham able to push that low line, and that low line's going to move themselves to the front, and Garrett Kinder shoved out of line. He's got no friends right now, trying to tuck himself back in line. Tucks in behind Andy Kurtz. See if Kinder gets a little bit of a run here. Dives down to the bottom underneath Kurtz as they come off the corner. Now Bieber and Kurtz jump up to the high side 3 wide. Here comes Kinder back with a big run, big head of steam. He's got all that dirty air in front of him that's going to pull him forwards. Three laps to go. See Kinder now giving that 31 a push up on the high side. Not a real push, but an arrow push, as you see him stuck up in the middle now as Travis Bieber just made a move down to the inside. That's going to put Kinder up on that high sucker hole. Oh, one goes around. Jonah Colbert is around. Yellow flag is out. Caution flies. We're going to set up a green-white checker. That's exactly what Logan Sturgeon, Charles Phelps, Josh Lukovitz's group back here, this is what they were hoping for, that late race caution. Fortunately for Jonah Colbert, it happened so far in front of that other group that he's going to be able to get around and catch the field. Doesn't look like there's too much damage to that 31 machine. Let's see if we can take a look at the 31's front end here. And now there is a bit of damage to that 31. Let's bring up our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind as we take a look to see what happened to the 31. We were right along with Garrett Kinder when it happened. We see Travis Bieber, yeah, just catches that quarter panel in the corner, comes down, catches Daniel Cunningham as well. Garrett Kinder able to squeeze by. Travis Bieber gets up into the wall as well. That's where that front end damage came from on the 31. Not a whole lot you can do at that point. You're just along for the ride. We'll actually ride right along here with Jonah Colbert, and you can see just how fast it happens. Nothing the 114 did wrong, just, like I said, a wrong push in the wrong spot at the wrong time. And this is all it takes. So Travis Bieber taking his reset. Andy Kurtz looks like he might have had to take a reset. Matt Knights comes down pit road and gets 4 fresh tires. See if that can increase his position at all. Mike Bertosa Jr. did get the lucky dog, so he's going to go around here and get himself back onto the lead lap. Again, that's going to set up the most exciting 3 words in motorsports: green, white, checker. While we've got a moment, don't forget to join us tomorrow night as the Send It Cup Series. It's going to be here on Intensity Broadcasting. Tomorrow night, they'll be taking on Auto Club for their second round of the round of 16. Then it's a cutoff race for them. After tomorrow night, they'll be cutting down to the top 12. So don't miss that. Then Sunday night, we've got our truck doubleheader. Both the Outlaws and the Sunday Night Truck Series is going to be taking on New Hampshire Motor Speedway, my home track that's located about 2 hours from me, a track that I absolutely love to go to and to race here on iRacing, so I'm looking forward to Sunday night racing as well. Monday night, we've got the Extreme Forces Xfinity Series back. Tuesday night truck doubleheader. Actually, I take that back. The Doghouse Racing League did just end their series. They will be back in 2 weeks. But the SCSRA Truck Series will be doing their second race of the season. I believe they are also going to be at New Hampshire. Let me just double check some schedules here. And that is correct. The trucks on Tuesday night will also be at New Hampshire. Wednesday night will be our Xfinity Series with the SCSRA going off from Texas. Thursday night, Thunderstruck. Friday night, Xfinity. The Xfinity Series is coming to an end soon. Just 2 more races after this one. Next week we head from the biggest track on the schedule, which is Talladega Superspeedway, to the smallest track on the schedule, as we'll be taking on Bristol next week. And then the season finale on April 29th. Oh, I take that back. We have a week off. So next week we will not be racing. We will be having the week off next week. Then on the 22nd, my mother's birthday, we'll be headed off to Bristol. And then the season finishes up on April 29th. So just 2 more races after this one to see who can get locked in to the Final 4 at Chicagoland. While we have a moment too, we want to thank all of our great sponsors that make this league possible. Goat Locker Racing, Big Fish Motorsports, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Shappy Edits, Smeal Racing Designs, Magic Mike Motorsports, Seth Griffith, Peg Leg Felts, P&J Motorsports, Jason Reisman Insurance, Flexible Freight Solutions, Mesa Motorsports, and JC Motorsports, all are great sponsors that let these guys race on Friday nights. They put on a great show. But here we go. We're getting back to racing here at Talladega as Kyle Roberts is going to lead them down to the restart zone. And green flag is back in the air. We are back racing here at Talladega. And this has let, as I mentioned, everybody back into the race. You see Garrett Kinder third on the bottom row. He's got a great pusher behind him in Logan Sturgeon. As we already have 3 wide behind, Chuck Pegleg Felts jumping up to the high side. He's getting a big push from Josh Oswald up there. Jason Lottridge up there as well. You've got the Pride on the line as Lottridge jumping up on that high line, trying to get by Logan Sturgeon, who's sitting there just outside of Garrett Kinder. And as they come off of turn number 4, the white flag will be in the air as long as the yellow flag doesn't come out first. We have 1 lap to go here at Talladega. They're 3 wide for the lead. Chuck Pegleg Felts with a great push from Logan Vitz, getting himself up there. Almost some contact between Cunningham and Logan Vitz. And now Kyle Roberts squeezes out to the lead out in front. Ooh, Magic Mike up into the wall behind. That's not going to bring out a caution as they're wrecking. But no caution as we are in the white flag lap. Garrett Kinder trying to find his way into the mix here as well. Now Pegleg getting a great push, just noses out in front of both Eddie Smith and Kyle Roberts. Now Smith with the good push. Oh, Cunningham turned Smith. Cunningham is side by side. Cunningham has no help. Here comes Chuck Pegleg Felts down to the stripe. They are banging off each other. Now Lokenvitz trying to make a move here, but as they come through the travel and to the start-finish line, it's going to be Chuck Pegleg Felts with the win over Josh Lokenvitz, and Logan Sturgeon comes home in third. Daniel Cunningham comes home in fourth, and Jason Lottridge is going to come home in fifth, 2 spots behind Logan Sturgeon. So chalk it up, 1 for Sturgeon in the best of 10. But how about that? Your winner tonight, a driver we haven't seen in quite a few weeks, makes his way back here on Friday nights and gets himself a win here at Talladega Super Speedway. And old Chuck's going to make his way down to the start-finish line and burn it down here. And we thought that strategy was going to really hurt his chances at a win here tonight, but he showed that with some perseverance and a yellow flag, he was able to get himself back in the position to win the race here. Kevin Kinder says, woohoo, or woot woot, Pegleg. Aaron Adcock says, good job, Chuck Pegleg, Poman Motorsports, as Chuck is continuing to burn it down here right on the start-finish line. Logan Sturgeon gives him some encouragement there. As those two now burn it down right on the flag stand. You can see. And your Rebels wreckage at the end of the race. Let's take a look at the results. And again, Chuck Pegleg Phelps gets the win. Josh Lokovitz comes home second. Logan Sturgeon, Daniel Cunningham, and Jason Lottridge make up your top five. Eddie Smith comes home sixth. Brandon Wallace is seventh. Travis Bieber, Andy Kurtz, and Josh Oswald round out your top 10. Mickey Isaac comes home in 11th. Jonah Colbert comes home in 12th. Garrett Kinder falls all the way back to 13th. Tyler Rice in 14th, and Mike Bertosa Jr. back in the 15th position. 16th is Matt Knights with Charles Stevens Jr. And 17th, Kyle Roberts, who led most of this race, comes home in 18th. Mike Uribe, Ray Page, and Colton Lanford round out the rest of the field here at Talladega. But we're going to get ready for our post-race interviews. As you get the right logo up on the screen, and I thought I'd shut that one off, but we'll redo that. And let's bring in your third place finisher tonight, the 26 of Logan Sturgeon. Logan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, what's going on, bud?
Man, great job tonight, coming home with third place tonight, but more importantly than that, finishing ahead of Jason Lottridge. I mean, that's got to be the number one goal here tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, my goal tonight was originally to help Charlie Stevens get into the playoffs by winning tonight. He helped me last season win this exact race in the same situation, but unfortunately we couldn't get it done for him. But I'm super stoked for Chuck winning tonight, man. He's come a long way for sure.
For sure, he's always been a fan favorite. It's good to see him back here tonight in the car. But that strategy there looked like it was going to end your race early in the race before that yellow came out. What was the idea for staying out so long, and did you think your race was over when you saw the lead that that first group had?
Well, we stayed out. We stayed out because we wanted to see if there was going to be a caution. We could trap a lot of the field a lap down, and we came back out, and it just wasn't working out the way we had hoped, and then we got lucky with that caution at the end of the race.
Well, great job coming home in third. I know you got some shout outs you got to give. So, anyone you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give here tonight?
I got to shout out Big Fish Motorsports. Once again, they prove that we are the best team at play tracks. Give a shout out to Intensity Broadcasting, all the other sponsors. I never look them up. Shout out to my buddies watching tonight, Tyler, Jay, and Colton. Old high school buddies that always watch my races. So shout outs to those guys, and yeah, we're gonna get ready for the ARCA race here in a little bit, and go out there and make it a 2-0 lead against Lottridge.
There you go. Well, again, congratulations on the third place finish, and we'll be talking with you soon.
Appreciate it, buddy.
So that was your third place finisher, Logan Sturgeon. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Josh Lokovitz. Josh, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Josh.
Man, great job tonight. Coming home in second, giving that big push to Chuck there. Was that kind of the idea coming to the stripe, or were you just right place at the right time there?
Yeah, no, we were, me, him, Logan, and Charles Stevens, we've been working together all night and we had a couple goals actually, trying to push Charlie up into the next round of the playoffs, and also trying to make sure that, Logan got up one on his bet against Lottridge. So we got one of those two accomplished tonight, and but yeah, we were working together all night long, and unfortunately at the end, Charlie kind of got pushed or shoveled out a little bit, but we still got Logan up there, so it's a good night.
Yeah, it was a great night for you. You were part of that pit strategy that almost went wrong, but ended up working out for you guys in the end. I know you were kind of hoping for that caution to come out to get yourself back up there. But that strategy, was there a point in the race where you thought that strategy was just going to absolutely ruin your night?
Honestly, I thought it was going to be great. Unfortunately, we had we had a couple folks that were side drafting and trying to race. Between the time they pitted and we pitted, so we lost a little ground to them. But I think if we could have lined up and kept it going straight, I think we probably would have came out in front of the pack actually, and would have worked out perfect for us. But it is what it is. It's Talladega, and you just move forward and drive on.
Well, not just are you the second place finisher tonight, you also earn yourself the Ray Cobb 45 Hard Charger Award tonight, making you up 17 spots from where you started. So congratulations for that prestigious award as well. And before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out? Anyone you want to thank here tonight?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you guys in the booth, you guys at Intensity, especially you in particular, always do such a great job. Big Fish Motorsports, they kind of took me under their wing tonight because I didn't have any teammates coming in. I don't usually race Friday nights, so Peg Leg, obviously. I mean, it was great pushing him to the win. He deserves one. Logan, again, for Big Fish for pulling me up, and the league, Griffith for running the whole thing. I can only imagine how much work that man has every single night. So I think that's most of it. I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but.
Well, you got the important ones out of the way. So again, Josh, congratulations on the second place finish, excuse me. And I'm sure as the season goes on, we'll talk to you again.
Appreciate it, Josh. Thank you.
So you have your second place finisher and Hard Charger Award winner tonight, Josh Lukenbritz. Let's bring in your winner tonight, the one and only Chuck Pegleg Feltz. Chuck, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I do, sir. How are you? Long time.
I was gonna say it's been a while since we've seen you out on the track. Then you come in here and you sneak into this playoff race and take a win away from one of the playoff drivers, so nobody gets to automatically advance, which makes next week at Bristol so much more exciting. So I thank you for that. But man,
I was just trying to be a team player. They're making it more exciting for the broadcast, right?
absolutely. But man, great run tonight. You guys, I mentioned to both Josh and Logan. I'm going to mention it to you as well. You guys had that little off strategy tonight that was so different from everybody else, and you lost a lot of time because of it. At one point, did you think that your race was just over and you guys were just going to have to ride it out and settle for where you were, or did you think there was going to be a late race caution there at the end?
You're correct on all the above. Actually, that strategy we've used in the past has worked perfectly. That's how Logan last season was able to get his win here at Talladega, and we've done that exact same strategy on other plate races. For some reason, somehow the cycle, our pit entry as a team worked perfect. It was choreographed very well. I felt we entered somehow. I don't know. A few of us took a little bit more fuel in the cell, or a little slower getting in the box or what, but we didn't sync up like we normally do. So there we thought we were just going to sit and ride it out with where we was at. I don't know, 8, 9, 10, wherever we were, 10, 11, 12, whatever we were. And then that late race caution came out, and so we had a chance. But we were pretty worried that what we had is what we had. That strategy is something, like I said, that we have done before, and it's actually more often than not it has worked for us. Again, I don't know. It's just even tenths off sync in the box is a lot of distance on the track. So we were a little off on the exit of our pit boxes or whatever. But so the pit strategy was planned and it has worked. It only by stroke of pure luck that caution came out did that actually save us on where we finally ended up finishing.
Yeah, for sure. That's a strategy that I've employed in myself with great success at super speedway. So, unfortunately for you guys, it worked out well. That move, though, jumping up to the third line, making it 3 wide to get the win, that was the move of the race and exciting to watch. So congratulations on that. Whose idea was it to make that move there, or was that kind of just right time, right place.
Well, it was typically what I like to do personally, and we've also talked amongst the team is now I wasn't able to as much tonight because it didn't work out. But typically on the front half of the race, I like to run on the bottom for the most part. There's more bailout room. You're not boxed in between cars inside you in the wall, so there's bailout room. But on the latter part of the race, near the end, you really can't make moves on the bottom. You gotta be in that outside line to have the ability to go three wide to give you more options on that. And so that was my intent and our team's intent. I was fortunate enough to get the restart on the outside, and as soon as I had the momentum coming off the two, it was I'm taking it and I'm going to roll with it. And I felt really confident in the racecraft and the skills and the ability of all those aliens in front of me that I knew I was comfortable racing around them. I didn't have to worry about somebody not holding their line or anything, and I felt comfortable enough in my own racecraft to be able to hold my own line to try and make it work. My win was pure luck. I know there was a spin on the inside. I heard it. I couldn't really see it. Even with my triple monitors, I had trouble seeing exactly what happened. And good old Josh Lukovich, he gave me some crazy pushes, and I mean it was like a shot of nitrous, which was extremely helpful. And then I knew he'd race me clean as far as him and I coming to the line. I certainly wasn't going to block him because I was running for fun and was trying to help the Big Fish team effort tonight. But I had to gracefully bow out of the series due to schedule conflicts, which is why I'm not in it. But fortunately tonight I was able to run schedule-wise, and I missed the series. I think this is one of the best series in the entire league, and it's nothing against any other series. I've always loved this series. Um, so it's really, I think, more luck than any ability on my part. I mean, I know you got to be in it to win it, but I think it was Josh's great pushing from behind and those wrecks on the inside of me. So I think there was more luck than my ability, but certainly is kind of nice to be in the booth with you, Josh. It's been a while, sir. Yes, I do. First and foremost, of course, to you guys, Intensity always does an amazing broadcast. It's not lip service. I absolutely respect you guys and the product that you put out. So much respect to you in Intensity. Then there's, of course, Shappy Edits, Mill Racing Designs, Magic Mike Motorsports, of course, Griff, P&J Motorsports, Reaper Racing, Big Fish, Jason Reisman Insurance, Flexible Freight, Amazing Motorsports, Goat Locker, and JC Motorsports. Of course, as always, Josh, you know me, I have to give love and respect to police, fire, EMT, first responders, all our military, current, and veterans. And last but certainly not least, my fellow brother and sister Marines, magnificent warriors that they are. So that's who I'd like to thank.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the win, and hopefully we'll see you back around here soon.
Yeah, if I get the schedule back up and running, I certainly would. I do love this series. Like I said, I think it's a great league. Rebels is an amazing league, but this series specifically just always seems so competitive and very clean racing, and of course, not lip service. But again, you guys broadcast and do such a great job. So once again, respect you guys for what you do for us.
I appreciate that. I miss being on the track for this league, but man, it's fun to call them up here in the booth too. So it was great talking to you, man, and again, hope to talk to you soon.
All right, you take care, my friend.
You as well.
All right, thanks.
So that was your winner tonight, Chuck Pegleg, fellas. Again, thanks for everybody who stuck around here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget, like, follow, and subscribe, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. Hey, cross follow. If you like us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook as well, and vice versa. Want to thank everybody involved here, and congratulations to Chuck Pegleg Phelps once again for the win. And check us out tomorrow night as Eddie Smith will have the call on the Send It Cup Series. Then you'll have me on the call Sunday night for our truck doubleheader. Again, thank you everybody involved. Thank you for joining us here tonight. And as our boy Atlee, Atman Weiss would say, over and out.